Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with us.
Welcome back, everyone, here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. And I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite. And today, our guest is Dr. Kane Williams, who is has a PhD on psychology and also who's working in the real estate industry. So, Dr. Kane, I am so fascinated by your knowledge in the psychology and using that in the real estate. So how does that work specifically? Can you give us more detail on how you use that? Because I know that, you work with people and you use it effectively, but can you give us some more details on how you incorporate that as part of your business in real estate?
Yes. I'm glad you asked that question, Marie. So I incorporated because so when I started out, with our social impact affordable housing fund here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I bought a park. This is me personally before forming Proactive. Bought a park at 100 Banachie Circle in Orangeburg, South Carolina, which is now 100 Citrus Circle. And as a result of working with my family office, they called me up. They says, hey, we have an off-market deal for you if you'd like to have it. They had to take it back from another person who had bought it. And I said, sure. So, and I'm kind of moving, fast in the story, farther along in the story. So it was a 187, 39-acre park. And when I say park, meaning manufactured home park, but at that time it was a trailer park, dilapidated trailers, 6 weeks from being condemned. It was just a total disaster. The property had roughly 80 code violations. Yes. So that's what you call in real estate a value add heavy lift.
Okay.
Class C, below a Class C, because it wasn't even that standard. And in that property, I moved in the middle of the property into a trailer home. I had never lived in one previously prior to that. And I just went to work. And psychology played a pivotal role in dealing with the local people here and dealing with the residents, because I meet people where they are. So my regular attire every single day, I call it my uniform: jeans, t-shirts, steel-toe boots. I met with a lot of local and city government because I'm raised by older people from the South.
Okay.
In California that, and these are people that migrated to the West Coast from the South and the Midwest for better opportunities. And there's a really great book out about that called The Warmth of Other Suns. And it just talks about the great migration, how, Black folks moved to the West Coast for better opportunities. So because I had that type of foundation and upbringing, and I had a young mom, and so I had benefit of all her relatives, I was able to move to the South. Psychology played a pivotal role because it allowed me. So Orangeburg County at that time had quite a bit of poverty. And so I had never experienced that level of poverty when I moved to Orangeburg, like a 30% poverty rate. Okay. And so there's a lot of dilapidated homes. There's code violations. On top of that, these are people whose needs had previously been ignored. And I was able to assess it, not just from a real estate perspective, however, from a human perspective, from a psychological perspective, to understand, okay, what are the systems in place here? What is the dysfunction? What's going on? How can I, as an individual and my office manager, better serve the people of this area and create a community?
Wow, I love that. I mean, you are not just looking at it in a small scale, you're looking at it in a community scale, which yes, that is impressive. So how would you describe yourself as a community leader? I mean, it looks like you're doing so many great things and you're connecting with a lot of the officials, but how would you describe as a community leader and also helping people to be able to afford the homes? How do you describe yourself?
So thank you. I appreciate that very much. And again, thank you for having me on your fantastic show and all of your hard work. I know it's not an easy task to get as far as you have today. So as a community leader, I describe myself as, first of all, I'm a believer I'm Christian. I'm a believer in Christ. Acts 17:28 is my life verse. For in Christ, I have my movement and my being. The other thing is that I'm also an all faith person. So whether a person comes from a Muslim background, a Mormon background, a non-believer background, a Buddhist background, regardless of what the background is that we're all interconnected and we're all, we all should have some type of higher power, and whatever that is, I respect it. The other thing as a community leader, especially in our communities, is that we're all the same. And I'm a big believer in having diversity. Like, we need to mix up the place. And so sometimes I've gotten pegged as, oh, well, you have a Black fund. No, we have a fund for low income. My people are low income and lower income. And that is how I describe myself as a leader, is just to be altruistic, which I am, or do my best to be, and to serve. If I had to sum all of it up, it would be in service.
Okay, so since you mentioned diversity, because I know a lot of people, or some people, still look into the negativity when it comes to racism, and how do you manage that when someone is in that mode of thinking?
Real good question. I'll give you a quick example. I had a lady come to, this is in Orangeburg again, the park that I had there before. And by the way, I bought the park 2018. Just to give you a little quick background, I bought the park in 2018 for 1.2 million, sold it in August 2022 for 5.2 million. And I always look at the purpose. So I'm a purpose over ego type of person. Mm-hmm. What that means is that what is my highest calling? What am I here to do? I'm here to serve. I'm here to build community. I'm here to have social impact. I'm here to keep rents low. We have impact reports from Morningstar Sustainalytics, and we're only one of two companies globally, around the globe, to have a social impact affordable housing report on the Morningstar Sustainalytics platform. So I had a lady and her family come, and this is right after I established the fund, and I'm showing her around to different units for rent. I was on site manager and I had an office manager as well. Mm-hmm. And while I'm showing her the units, I just got this feeling. I say to myself, she's going to ask me, am I the owner? And so she says, now, sir, what role do you play here? I say, yes, ma'am. I say, what'd you say, ma'am? Now, what role do you play here? Who's the owner? Are you the owner? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, this won't work out for us. I said, yes, ma'am. I says, thank you, ma'am. If anything changes, ma'am, give me a call and we'll see what we have and you can come back, or if you're looking to buy a home. And so that was it. That was the end of it. Alternatively, I've been embraced like I am the only Black dealer in the whole state of South Carolina that, recognized by the Manufactured Housing Board of South Carolina. I'm the only Black retail dealer. What does that mean? That means I hold a retail license to sell manufactured housing, to buy it, at cost from the factory. And I've been at conventions, I've been at different things. And, so a lot of times I'm the only person there, person of color, however you want to describe it. And who cares? No big deal. And I've been embraced. So for every one experience like that I've had, which is far and few between, very rare, for any one experience I've had like that, I've had probably about 100, 125 constructive, positive experiences. And I wouldn't be this far if I didn't think, on a higher level and, service over ego.
Yeah, that's great. That's so nice to hear that you're able to, just deal with those kind of people that are still in the past and thinking negative about whatever their problem is. Because I've had those experiences too, which is really interesting because I'm a female and I'm a minority, and I still get that kind of reaction sometimes, which is really weird. But I think I like the idea that I like the information that you shared, that it is about your calling. It's about your purpose, and that's what people need to really understand in terms of who they are in their community. It's not about the color. It's about who they are and what is their purpose, what is their calling in regards to serving the community.
Yes, this is correct.
Yeah. Now, I also realized that you have a book. So can you tell us more about the book that you published?
Yes, it's right here. This is my first book.
Okay.
By the grace of God,
What's the
it's a
title?
labor.
What's
The title is The Affordable Housing Multimillionaire Invest with Meaning, Create Housing Security, and Generate Consistent Cash Flow.
Okay. Well, I want to learn more about the book, but we're going to take a commercial break and we will be right back. So don't go away, everyone. This is Marie Antoinette Waite at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, and we are with Dr. Kanan Williams, and we will just honor our sponsor.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.